Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the one, the only, the Azothan. We're back with another game of Lord on the Formath. Hello and welcome. This is a custom map set in the Warcraft 3 engine. It functions on a control point based system, meaning that the more of these little circles of power on the ground you control, the more money you get every round. Lumber is harvested normally, and you can deforest an area, requiring you to either have an option to fix that or move on. This game is a 12-player game, meaning that we have a 6v6 situation starting off at the beginning with the forces of good directly before the events of the Third War, all allied, the High Elves. Actually, we'll go ahead and introduce all the players here in just a moment. Here we are. Now, and let's go ahead and list off our players. We have Spike Spiegel. In the red trunks, he'll be controlling the forces of the High Elves, Lorthmar Theron, and Anastarian Sunstrider under his control. We'll discuss these heroes further as they go on. B. Lothar in the blue trunks controls the forces of the Lich King. The Burning Legion and Evil will be his allies, starting out at least. Hey in the teal trunks will use Tichondrius and Mal'Ganis to control the forces of the Burning Legion. Next, in the purple trunks, we have Chumba playing the forces of Dalaran. Jaina Proudmoore and Archmage Antonidas will lead their forces. Orange Pengu, the dwarves. Again, I'm sure you can figure out who's on good and who's on evil team, but if you can't figure it out, that's on you, buddy. Falstad Wildhammer and Magnite Bronzebeard in the yellow trunks. Orange Pengu will be in charge of fending off the southern fight. He's really the only one down south. All of good is up north fighting off the Cults of the Damned and Undead in the beginning, and light blue's got to deal with Outland orcs. Right after that, it's all yellow. So continuing up the line, we got Motion Sense in the OJ trunks. He's going to be controlling the forces of the Dark Horde with Ren Blackhand and Kargath. Big Ups in the green trunks for Evil Team. Grandmaster Vorpal and Terran Gorfiend will be his heroes. Shadow Council. Fiend in the slightly puke green. I'm not even sure I like this pea green, but it does look pretty on the elves. I'll give them that. With Sylvanas Windrunner and actually all the Windrunner sisters, she'll be using the Ranger Corps to try to support her allies from range. However, immediately under attack at Farstrider Lodge from our Dragon Mob. Cracker Snatcher in the gray trunks, a very good player. He has run his unit straight out of Stratholm after spawning there to grab these troll creeps down here. This is a brilliant move. It's going to feed him quite a bit because he's going to be under siege here soon by the Alliance. The Alliance has one job, that's find the undead and kill them as early as possible. Iron Eel in the light blue trunks. He has Uther the Lightbringer out in the real world and Vindicator Maraud protecting Maru in Outland. He'll be the first line of defense against evil. I'll probably go ahead and turn off the Fog of War. It must be very confusing looking down there what's going on. Prince Galen Trollbane. Alright, so Dark Green is the bastion of humanity. He is the forces of Lordaeron himself, led by Arthas Menethil, Lord Oathmar Garethos, and Prince Galen Trollbane. He's being played by Aspartacus123WR and Darth Maul 99. With Mogor under his control, already having either lost or killed Necrosh Skullcrusher, but also taking out Farstrider Lodge, which you saw me struggle to do in the last game we were just playing. Oh, do you ever play tower defense on here? We do Legion tower defense and stuff like that, man. We can do something like that after this. It's a little bit chiller. Spike Spiegel. That's a pretty cool name, Julian Reno, I agree. Shoutcasting, yeah. We are shoutcasting, buddy. We're not playing. We're going to be trying to explain how this game plays out to you guys. Now, let's go ahead and assess where the forces are. The evil Legion team is going to want to immediately, it's going to be Burning Legion, Dark Horde, and the Shadow Council starting to attack the forces of the Draenei in Outland. I'm so good at shoutcasting. A little bit south of that, like I said, it's going to be the Dragon Mob versus the Dwarves for a little while until Evil Team finishes off the Draenei. They will not be able to safely move through the Dark Portal and begin assisting out here in Blackrock. Now, up north, we're going to try to keep a track. This game is mostly based about factions and fun and positioning. Upgrades do matter over time, and serious upgrade discrepancies will start to show as time goes on. But it's important to remember that it's not about that. It really is about being in the right place at the right time and using the right spells and combination of units far more than it is about directly upgrades. However, Blue, the Lich King, does have a unique position where his job is to literally clear out all of Northrend, get as much money as he can, and a huge advantage in upgrades and forces, and he bomb drops when Grey launches the Plague. Now, we have not seen... There we go. Call to the Damned will soon be under attack. as Spartacus, doing the usual strategy of going up north first to look into the Alterac Mountains before going to kill the undead. It's not going to pay off for him this time, buddy. He's not there. All right. And it looks like Menethil Harbor is going to get taken out if or the dwarves and... What are they doing? Guys, you know he's up north. Come on, Orange Peggy. You're just going to let him destroy his base? What kind of a man are you? Oh, that's not a knife. Back up north. Get this out of my mouth. I really don't need to be chewing gum while we're doing this. It really encourages me not to be talking as much as I should be. Now, back to the left of the map. Looks like some creeping has gone down on these optional islands. No one's taken Barrett and Hold yet. A base that occasionally this lever will reset and you get to release some prisoners and murder them for gold. There's a bunch of neat little ways to get repetitive income or units in this map for people to try to come back here and there, as the game is extremely complex and I want to play a game of it because... Man, this game is so fun when you don't care about the beginning fights and you understand that the first hour of the game is really where you're setting up to see who you're going to be with. Uh-oh. Now, Gray might be in a spot of trouble here. He has not blocked this choke point effectively, and a lot of dark green units are going to get in there. It is only one unit, or one hero, so I can be hopeful, but Cracker Snatcher, you're better than this, man. What you doing? Oh, the fuck? This is different. Cracker Snatcher? Okay, I take it all back. It's going to be Dark Horde and Cult of the Damned. And probably Dragon Maw here in a minute if he comes back down south, attacking the doors right now. Weirdest positioning for Kel'Thuzad to be in. He should be back here defending Skullomance, because the longer he holds onto this base, the more money he gets. But I can see his reason for moving Kel'Thuzad out and wanting to keep him as a mobile help thing on the map. He doesn't want him to get stuck in Skullomance and be forced into a teleport out. This is a much more aggressive way of using Kel'Thuzad, where he supports his allies instead of defends the base, but if he loses Stratholme too quickly, he will not be benefiting from the extra gold he gets holding this position for a longer and longer period of time. Very similar to the Draenei, who I'm not even sure they're here. Iron Eel, how's your money going, bud? He has used up all of his money and already lost Maraud, probably a little bit of a new guy. Should be staying back on Maru and casting spells with him as well. He has amazing AoE attacks. And the demons, hey, intelligently using Mana Drain on Maru, reducing the odds of him casting Vulnerability, Divine Shield, AoE spells, damage. It looks like Iron Eel is going to die. He's a good man. But you can see he's just kind of got Uther stuck in a corner over here trying to figure out what's going on. But let's go ahead and mention a few unique things about this map and how races interact with it. One thing that I want to point out is these gold mines scattered over 3 different places in the world. One in Northrend, one in Lordaeron, and one down south here. It looks like there's another one there, but it's not. It's a lie. It's just right here, and the dwarves are already mining from it. Just a little bit of extra income here and there. Very similar to when Gray gets the floating fortress of Noxramas. That also has a passive gold mine effect inside of it as well, and that's the 4th gold mine I think that can drop. If you kill Noxramas, a gold mine drops. Good for you. Hallucinator, pleasure to have you here, man. How you doing? And Joan says, that's an interesting choice. I love it, right? It's odd for Gray to have done that, and let's go make sure we see how that fight's going. Nope. Looks like he took significant damage in the assault on the dwarves, has been forced to retreat, and Evil is now on the run. But there we go, Black Dragon Maw clan. Looking feisty. They're a little bit damaged, but he's ready to take this out. Now, the Dwarven Siege Cannon here is the equivalent of this cannon that I had on my Dragon Maw base the other game. The Dragon's Breath cannon is slightly stronger, slightly higher range, but the dwarves have 2 bunkers with these types of cannons on them to kind of make up for that. Now, interesting choice to be focusing on these cannons instead of this cannon when he has total access. I hope this is a little bit more zoomed in. You should guys be able to follow it a little bit easier. Haldurin, Brightwing, and the High Elves not helping their allies at the moment. And there we go. Dark Horde catches a little bit of the Dwarven army out of position. Hopefully, yes, come on, Dwarven Siege Cannon, go down. Oh, he's lost all of his actual siege units, though. I think if he destroys Dun Algaz, the cannon's obviously dead as well. He has enough melee units on the ground to do it. He's trying to focus it down, but Yellow's producing peasants to try to repair the base. Is he going to be able to make it? I don't think so. And I think the Dwarven Siege Cannon is now broken or just on the ground. Oh, okay, it's on the ground now. And it can be attacked. That was worthwhile. I'm not sure I've ever seen this happen. Is it even on the ground? Because these guys can't repair it. So, no. Interesting calls. Stratholm has been purged by the humans up north, and they'll be able to move down south now and begin assisting the dwarves and their allies as well. You can see Dalaran has already, after clearing some of the creeps around his base, brought down his units to start bringing his might as well. Let's go ahead and check. He's got Constructionist level 2, meaning that he's going to be able to summon units, arcane constructs, bind those units to heal them. He could use that bind ability on this Dwarven Siege Cannon or any other mechanical or building unit to repair it. It's a fun unit to grab if you're purple. In the back, he's not upgraded sorceresses yet, so I'd expect master level for priests as well. Any race that has priests you should get, because it's usually heals and dispels, and every race wants those. And I like that the game will automatically zoom out occasionally, thank God. And the siege cannot move. I know, right? It just starts rolling around. You decide to repark it inside Ironforge instead. I'd be down for that. Is this version new? It is, Meccan. It is new. And here we have, oh, the High Elves have decided to get a little bit saucy and head up north to attack the Lich King. The Lich King? No. Alright, upgrades favor our Undead player. This is an odd choice for the High Elves, but it kind of makes me happy, seeing that this isn't going to play out as dangerously as I expected, or just one-sidedly. Oh, God. Alright, level 4 Anastarian Sunstrider. We're going to have to check on their abilities. Anastarian has a Rejuvenation Aura and a Crown that he can use to heal his allies. Not a Rejuvenation Aura, but a Rejuvenation AoE. It's like mana and health, everything regen. Could use some help, says Dreadmaw. I bet, buddy. Probably under quite a bit of pressure at the moment, aren't you? Oh, will you look at that? Oh, it's not looking good. He has landed a single damaged Mogor. I mean, that Orc Worship was one hit away from that Greyhawk killing him. He lost his entire army, everything. The dwarves chased him down mercilessly.
We're under attack.
Oh no! Mogor got back in a ship! He got back in the fucking ship and now he's stranded! Oh, look at this, Mogor's gonna die into a single hog just sitting there. That hurts the soul. My heart. Alright, B-Lothar, I know you got fights with the Blood Elves or the High Elves up in Northrend. The High Elves are establishing their base. You can see power generators being built. The elite unit for our High Elves can cast a spell on these power generators, creating permanent arcane elementals. I mentioned one of those cheeky ways to get infinite units. But they're not amazing, and they can be dispelled, but they are there if you end up in a tough spot. You can utilize your elites to, you know, kind of take advantage of this arcane ancestry that the High Elves are supposed to have, and I like that. Meccan says, oh, this is so different. Joe at 10. This has been really cool so far. I like how this is playing out. Now, this is clearly from the point of view of people who are interested in their own ends. We haven't seen a concerted war effort yet from any of our allies or enemies. Let's keep an eye. And some clearing down by the Legion. The Legion has now left Outland, and with the completion of some of their orders, they've gained Pit Lords. So they will have Pit Lords and Infernals, as well as Dreadlords. Teal is really about efficient, big specialty units. You don't want to have too many mass units. But other than that, Teal's only other job is to utilize Archimonde in the Nether to level up his allies, heal them, and just kind of have summons going around. We can talk about all of Archimonde's spells. You have one that can heal an ally hero over time and drop some demon units on him. You can level up a hero, but not twice in a row. It's not your own either. It has to be an ally. It's called Master's Favor. There's a mass summon towards you, and now Brown is going to be under assault by the combined forces of Dwarves and Dalaran. And, oh lord. It's looking tough. No upgrades for Brown, and let's see if he did lose that hero over in the corner. He did. The stranded hero's dead. Anyone being remade there at the Altar of Storms? No, it's not looking good. He doesn't have the money, guys. I feel like Dragon Maw's going to get the short end of the stick here and end up probably going into the Twilight's Hammer clan. Upgrades for our Dwarven player are at 0-2 for his melee. 0-2 for his ranged as well. Here comes the push. They want that Dragon's Breath cannon, man. You gotta save the Dragon Maw, guys. They need help. Alright, Teal's undead demon army thing is coming up from the south right now. It looks like he's gonna help, but he's mostly just creeping. He's kind of like, oh, fucking screw you, man. I gotta get experience. I got things to do. Fuck you. I mean, Teal can teleport, or Big Ups can teleport. Not really seeing Big Ups. He's staying near Dark Horde, and everyone's flanking around. If the dwarves can be stalled at this gate and held for a little bit, I'll be very impressed. Dragon Maw Port's taking a little bit of damage. Dragon's Breath Cannon's still pretty solid. And the gate sits at 11,000 health right now. This might have been a very bad decision for the dwarves. We're about to watch them get sandwiched between two armies. And there goes the entire Dwarven army, except for the Skybreaker, which was able to funnel out King Magnai Bronzebeard within its hold, escorted by Falstad Wildhammer. Now an attack by the Dark Horde on Menethil, oh no, the previous base has been wiped out. The Dwarven Siege Cannon is no longer here, and all they have to rely on are a few improved cannon towers. The upgrades, let's go ahead and take a pause here and assess the forces that are involved. This is a big complex game, and I do apologize for that. Grandmaster Vorpal popping his item Carabun, which makes him and several nearby units around him invulnerable. It's pretty badass. Other than that, we have the Dark Horde with Rend and Kargath. Kargath can roar, Rend can do some summons and a few other things, but this looks like a foregone conclusion. The dwarves are getting overwhelmed, and his allies are already retreating. It looks like Fiend is trying to stay in there, trying to help. It's like, I know, man. I know you need this. But he's got to run. No good. Dragonmaw clan has been saved. It looks like evil is on the rise, and in Northrend, I'm pretty sure B. Lothar has wiped out the forces of the High Elves that were playing around on his shores. Absolutely he did. Spike Spiegel, where'd you run off to? Where did you come from? Where did you go? The plague's been launched and we're gonna die. With the launching of the plague, several undead bases have been spawned throughout Lordaeron, and if Anderhall is taken, it will spawn another base for the Lich King, in addition to the ones for the Cult of the Damned. The Cult of the Damned with a lot of hidden plague cauldrons around. Let's see if the one in Silverpine Forest has been taken out as well. This can kind of sneak up on people. They'll forget it's there, and it'll just keep making zombies forever and ever. The first target for the Undead, the newly fresh and Undead team, is going to be attacking Lordaeron Capital. If they can take out Lordaeron Capital, they can establish themselves, get Arthas, and guarantee the ascension of the Undead team. Also, attacking and killing Sylvanas will result in the Forsaken being added to the Undead forces. Paths which are known to cause crashes since Warcraft 1.0 have been disabled. Oh, okay. So supposedly paths can't cause crashes, even though we saw it happen. Yep, Elucidator, you're absolutely right. That went down like that. Brown was not screwed, isn't that? I'm surprised he didn't die. Old Lord Lothar is going to get killed. Gray's trying to use some of his units to focus down Lothar. It's not going to go right. There's the AoE hero from Lothar. He has a movement speed aura, a shockwave effect, and a mass heal. Like I said, Anasterian mass regeneration ability, chain lightning. I'm forgetting his other one. Oh lord, Kel'Thuzad tries to go toe-to-toe with these elven heroes and is getting wiped, but that's not the point. He has a nearly limitless force of undead heading up that way. And B. Lothar, let's check on his landing. Oh. Okay. I mean, he came through some kind of Wrathgate portal directly attached to Skullomance. I wasn't expecting that. I thought most people prefer to actually land on boats, but that works as well too. He's trying to move down south and attack the Dwarven base of Airy Peak. It's an odd decision, I have to say. Alright, fight up north and fight down south right now, and there we go. I like to see that. Spike's people using the Dispel magic on his units to take advantage of Cracker Snacker's biggest weakness, which is the mass summoned and magic-based nature of his army. If you start dispelling your Grey army, I guarantee you at least half is going to disappear within the first 3 of it, and all these frost armors, blah, 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 it's all going away, man. You are not going to survive. Now, a slow retreat being played out here. Burning Legion in the lead with control points right now, and now would be a good time to take... I mean, we're going to have to go 30 minutes. And this is going to be a 2.5 hour game, I think. This might be the longest game we ever shoutcasted. I'm in for the long haul. We're changing this to longest shoutcast ever. It's insane. There we are. A little unorthodox to not attack capital first, right? Hallucinator, odd that he's going down south. It'd be, you know... I think the dwarves are about to be in a lot of trouble because the Legion is already smashing down the gates of Ironforge, are halfway down. These are not noobs. This is moving at such a frantic pace right now, I can't keep track of it. Legion crushing the gates of Ironforge, even with several buildings hastily made and Dwarven keep towers trying to be made. I think the dwarves are going to die right now. Orange Pengu with nearly no support from his allies. The north is going crazy because of the perfect timing of the launching of the plague. And just a few units decide to attack Borealis Keep, and purple teleports there instead of, you know, the dwarves' main base of Ironforge. I don't know, call me crazy. How's Airy Keep going? Is it still getting aimed? Orange Pengu may have been able to utilize the ultimate magic spell on Airy Peak. Sort of a storm, a mass of its massive radiant electrical energy that crashes down on all nearby enemy units. And goodbye, Elite Exarch Sorcerer. Fare thee well. You were a cool demi unit while you lasted. Now this is where the hard part comes in. You can see they busted down the door, and now they have to bring the infernal machines to the front line of combat. It's weird that the Dark Horse keeping most of his forces back. Teal and the Cult of the Damned, or Shadow Council, really being forced to use most of their forces at this. Now, a change in this game is that Teal has to bring a Dreadlord unit up here to subjugate the Orc tribes and create a base for OJ, which can be very helpful in attacking and deciding when you want to utilize that, instead of just having it as essentially was a free base that the Alliance always killed immediately. Carcass Snatcher, where you at, bud? Well, he's somewhat stabilizing here against the combined forces. He did kill Uther the Lightbringer, and with the death of Uther the Lightbringer, a non-revivable hero, the Scarlet Crusade has been formed from the forces of Light's Hope. They will begin descending into more and more awful behaviors and decadent features, eventually resulting in being expelled by the Alliance and created into their own faction. I might need a level archibald. Alright, Cracker Snatcher requesting that Teal upgrade his hero. If he's pretty close to level 10, it's usually worthwhile to do that for a friend. Maybe not. Alright, Random Hey throwing down some lesser demon portals, summoning these with his heroes. And let's check on the Ironforge fight. The dwarves still hold, but it is a close thing, guys. The gates are shattered, and now the Horde is moving in. It looks like fully upgraded Warlocks from our Shadow Council player, able to summon Felguards, use Shadow Fury, which is a healing and increased regeneration, single target ability, and Abolish, which is a single target dispel as well. Speaking of casters, we're going to have the Necrolight's mass summoning, and has OJ decided to focus on his casters at all? Looks like Motion Sense. He does have Fellswarm, who have the option to summon units occasionally, but it looks like he's focused more on his upgrades with 1-2 attack defense upgrades. The Skybreaker trying to hold on, trying to escape. It's not that heavily damaged, but even a few Orc Spear Throwers would be able to pull it out of the air. Let's see how bad the focus damage is on it. Come on. No! Get out of the front gate! Why did I go by a fucking front gate? Okay, well, he's dead. Congratulations. He could have gotten out. But then he retreated. Now he's gonna die. Unless he goes into some weird portals down here, and I don't know how those work. Does that portal actually... To where? It's an escape portal. I see. For the dwarves. I like that they've added that. That is new in this version. Gray, how is this hold going? Dark Horde have managed to somehow get Jubithos and the forces from Alterac to join with Kel'Thuzad in holding these two forces up here. Argent Crusade has been formed, meaning that the Scarlet Crusade will not allow themselves to devolve into evil. They don't want that at all. Nice mana drains from the Nethrezim elites on Teal. They are going to be forced to stay permanently Alliance side, I believe. And with the forming of the Argent Crusade, he gained Tyrian Forging in Northrend, another force that could try to do some damage against blue. Down south, Ironforge has been fully racked up. 1-2 upgrades from Teal on his ranged and 0-2 on his melee. 6/6 is, of course, maximum, if you're wondering. Dwarven refugees. I know, Hallucinator. I'm hoping they're going to be okay. And this is not going to go well for Evil right now. Good teams being too good about their dispels. The mass summons from Grey, what's supposed to be a pretty unbeatable meat wall, is having some trouble now. Hey, either with summoned semi-permanent units or just making sure to get the Succubi, which is a pretty decent range unit with chaos damage. I can't stress how much. 1,000 hit points, chaos damage. It's not huge at first, but boy, does it grow on you, and they have some pretty decent spells as well. Oh. Alliance hanging in there, and that's that AoE regen I was talking about. We'll see all of these Elven units. Only affects his Elven units, thank God. But Spike Spiegel's units will now begin regenerating health and mana much more quickly. They can still die, though, so Spike maybe pull them back. Don't feed them. Oh. And Evil, with the help of the Nethrazim and the Orcish tribes of Alterac, are gonna start pushing back. It doesn't look like there's gonna be a betrayal anytime soon. It's a pretty hardcore game. Spartacus goes for the attack on Scholomance, but there's not enough there for you to do that. And Light Blue continues his agenda in Northrend. Evil's swinging up now. Alliance is under assault, and they're definitely losing now. Airy Peak will be the next big base that the Evil actually attacks. And by big base, I mean one that anyone ever defends, because Stromgarde never gets defended. I don't know why no one wants to defend it. They just don't. And with the breaking of the Alliance forces, the scourging of Lordaeron can begin anew. Tyr's Hand? Alright, come on, let's check the income of our big boys here. Iron Eel. No money to restart this. Okay, how about his allies? The Elves. Fiend, how you feeling? 618. Alright, 3 heroes. He's having a good time, actually. What about Spike Spiegel? 300. Okay, so they do have enough to fight and try to hold them off. Neither base has really been lost. They've been fighting exclusively out in the field, which is very odd. Alright, nice. Dispels effect. Dispels on the Cult of the Damned, looking good. And Fiend's gonna wipe up Quel'Danil Lodge, another just passive, kind of important base. It's like Quel'Thilian Lodge, Quel'Danil Lodge, they had Farstrider Lodge down south. It's kind of famous for the elves all having these lodges that they can go to and retreat and be with one another. It's something you pick up on slowly if you play World of Warcraft, which I think is cool. Yeah, it seems like Civil War would be very fair at this point. We're going to take a quick break at the 30-minute mark to take a drink of water and address anyone's questions about what's going on, and then we'll continue pushing on through the map. We're going to require updates as this goes, so don't feel awkward about asking. Dalaran Experiment having been broken out of the dungeons, looks like it'll be joining the fight for Stratholme, and now that the plague has been launched, the true goal of the Cult of the Damned has been revealed, the crushing of each city in Lordaeron, starting with Stratholme this time. Very unconventional not to go immediately for Lordaeron Palace. The Lich King has launched a bid for freedom from his jailers. Okay, the dwarves have abandoned the technological advancements of Ironforge and sworn fealty. The King Falstad of Airy Peak, the Wildhammers, now lead the remaining dwarves of Lordaeron, turning our yellow dwarves into blue dwarves, who have beast tamers and dwarven catapults, and they tend to be much more wild and crazy. Oh, laddie, of course, I fucking love riding me. I love riding me Greyfin and just throwing hammers at orcs. It's a good time. Aim right for their buttocks. You ever seen a green butt turn pink? Crispy brown. No, but seriously though, this is bad. Evil Team has nothing between them and the dwarves up north. I don't even know why they're not here yet. They've just kind of slowed down for no reason. Kargast having a party over in the forest right now. Just, we have done it. Prepare a feast. It's like, how about we prepare our asses to move, man? This war's still going on. R.I.P. Strath. Hallucinator. I don't think so. Strath is still holding on. With the help of Chumba Chumba and the Dalaran forces, they're barely able to push them back, and it looks like the Alliance forces will once again try to pose a threat to the Undead. Sadian's Warhammer, come on. Light Blue, why aren't you using it? Oh, because Tyrion Fordring's the only one alive, and he's about to be under assault. Oh, no. So Light Blue has some forces here stuck over in Northrend. He doesn't seem to have a shipyard or any ships nearby to save him, because Blue's taking care of that with a battleship right there. Yeah, I don't favor light blue's chances against B. Lothar. I think the Lich King's going to be able to crush Tyrion at this fight. It's a good choke point, and unfortunately he hasn't upgraded his clerics. Silverhand clerics have the ability to cast Chain Heal when fully upgraded, and you can't underestimate that. Remember, you're a tank with holy powers. You're not a... like, you can try to be if you're a Ret Paladin if you want, but it's not going to go well. And just a little bit of harassing that ass down here with the High Elves. I love to see this. The Phoenix, immune to magic, able to harass from long range. He's utilizing these free arcane elementals that he got from using the power generators, or the power generator elite unit combo. Run, Juby, run! And down we go. Oh no! What? That can't be. Alright, looks like Altrak's gonna get cleaned up by the forces of Lordaeron, and it's not as bad as it was looking, right? Oh, those zombies, says Spike Spiegel. 840 health, can't be dispelled. Oh, they can be dispelled sometimes. They could definitely be dispelled. Uh-oh. Keldazad, careful there, baby. Lorthamartheron, it's getting aggressive. Dalaran and them able to crush down. Cracker Snatcher, where's your hero? Kel'Thuzad not killed. If he dies, he becomes a ghost version of himself. It's very hard to get back. Oh, that's neat. Anastarian, Sunstrider, and Jaina actually met, and that gives a boost to them, or at least a little bit of context. I didn't check and get to see if they got gold, but little events like that often do reward gold. And the Shadow Council, whoa! I had lost track of big ups, but the Shadow Council doing work, bringing his forces all the way to the island of Kultiris, Borealis. Dalen Proudmoore now having to deal with Terran Corfiend and Blackheart the Incinerator. Great hero for green. It takes about 10 minutes for you to get him, but once you buy him from your altar, it's 200 gold. He's got himself a mana regen aura, AoE attack. It's pretty awesome. Now, I think green got a little bit cocky. He was thinking his warlocks and summons were going to be more than enough, but with purple teleporting in and having the dispels, there's no way to address that. Mal'Ganis begins his tiny little plague preparation thing, which, since he didn't do it before, I don't know if bringing him to Stratholme will actually spawn zombies and result in that base still. But let's see. Usually if you bring Mal'Ganis to Stratholme right now, it would spawn a bunch of zombies for a long time to try to take over the city. Careful. There we go. Taking out the Magistrix. We can see Yellow trying to do the favorite tactic of High Elves, which is just use your hero group and utilize your spells to harass and hit units and try to pull them into disadvantageous choke points against your more prepared allies. Dwarves are prepping Airy Peak for a battle, and we are at 30 minutes, so can you zoom out? Yeah, Alpha. As you can see, the game zooms itself back out. Or do you mean even more than this? Because we're going to go ahead and take a break there.